All right, welcome to this Friday afternoon call. It's 11:30 a.m. We are switching from our Thursday night 7 o'clock p.m. team calls to do day calls now that the kids are out of school. So I'm excited that you guys came here. Last minute notice. The last two Thursday nights we had to cancel because my kids' baseball games started up, and I have two baseball games every Thursday night. So we needed to switch over to daytime. So I'm glad that you guys are here. There's just one quick announcement for you guys on here live and those that are going to be watching the recording is we have the BODi Coach Summit coming up June 21st to 22nd in San Antonio. It will start on a Friday morning and go till Saturday night. If you've never been to Summit before, there's trainings. Brendan Bouchard, who's been my high performance and coach for the past 12 years, he's going to be the keynote speaker there. And then they're going to have incredible, top leaders in the company teaching and training on what's working best right now in 2024 to grow your business. So it's just a great place to learn and grow. But the thing that I love about Summit is I call them the hallway conversations, the hotel lobby conversations. And that's where I see the most magic happen. Like we learn things in the keynote speeches, we learn things from the trainers, but at the end of the day, we always group up in the lobby and we get to see each other in person and talk about what we learned and answer each other's questions and just kind of learn and grow together. So if you have questions about Summit or how to get there, please just send me a private message or ask in the team page. We have a Facebook Messenger chat thread of everybody on this team that's going. And there's some activities that we're going to. We're going to go do like a country line dancing something on a Thursday night. Some of us are all of the same religion. One of them is going to go do an important thing in their life on a Thursday morning in a temple that's in San Antonio. So there's lots of things that that we have comments and communication about. So if you have questions about it, please just let me know. Remember that there's a feel good summer sale going on for your clients. It's $20 off automatically. So when you create a share a cart, it's automatically, instead of $219, for example, total solution pack with BODi, year access, and Shakeology. Normally those are $219. They're showing up as $199 like automatically without doing anything. So that promo is going on. It was going to go just through this month, but they extended it into June. So today is not the last day for that. So you have June to use that promo as well. But then remember, every partner has a $20 off promo code for any total solution pack over 179. So it's basically your first name on your account, then TSP20. So it would be Lacey TSP20 or Scott TSP20. And honestly, Lacey, if you created a share cart for somebody, let's say they're going to do a year access BODi and Shakeology, it will come in at $199 when you create that cart. You could even put Scott TSP20. Like it would still go through. So those promo codes will all go through. Just use your first name and $20 off. And it's $179 with that discount. So I've been talking, every client that I talk to, even former BODi partner or BODi customers, preferred customers or partners, when I'm having conversations with them, I'm asking them when their BODi subscription renews and letting them know like, hey, like let's say it renews in July. I tell them you might just want to consider canceling your BODi subscription and re-enrolling with a whole new year, because a BODi subscription for the year is $179 and you're basically getting a free bag of Shakeology or a free tub of Energize and Recover with that total solution pack. So that's kind of the route I'm going with that Feel Good Summer Sale. Can you guys hear me? Everybody froze, but I have a feeling it was me. Can you hear me, Lacey? And okay, cool. Everybody froze, and then I wonder if if everybody can hear me. Okay. Well, I'm going to move on to the topic, and then, like I said, if you guys have any questions about anything about your business, please ask, and at the end, I'll address them. So, the topic today was the four, like I'll call it the four pillars of success, and I did a quick live in the video in the team page of saying like I titled it the four pillars of success in business. But what I want you to really understand about what I love about this business is when you apply any of these things that we talk about and that we're training about, if you apply them to your own health, and it could apply to your own health and fitness. It could apply to your own spiritual journey. It could apply to your own relationship, like with your spouse or with your kids. If you're trying to build that, using these 4 pillars that we're going to talk about will apply to anything. So it's not just your business. So that's what I love about personal development, and what I really love about this business is that we have the opportunity not just to help somebody with the world's #1 health and fitness platform with the nutrition, mindset, and um, uh, the community that we can support, and the opportunity for them to earn income like that. I believe that's all incredible. But as we work on our mindset, we can help people become better humans. I'm super excited about that. And to start out, before we go through these 4 things, I want you to write them down so you can create your own strategy coming out of this call to crush it during this summer. Is just to remind you guys that I say this multiple times throughout the year, but this is separation season. I talk about that with my kid when he plays sports. When we continue to swing bats and throw pitches outside the baseball season, I tell him this is separation season. Because he wants to be a pro MLB player. So I tell him, everybody, baseball season's over. They're going to stop playing baseball. They're going to just hang out and swim and play video games. This is your chance to separate yourself from the average and become great. It's separation season. So I talk with my kids about it. I want to talk to you guys about it. People are going to unplug for summer. They're going to say, whether it's for their own health and fitness and nutrition or their business, they're going to be like, summer's so busy. I'm going to go on vacation, all of these things. This is your chance to separate yourself from the crowd and become that person that stands out. And to be honest, in my 13 years of coaching people, I believe I stand out because I'm so consistent. And by the way, that's going to be one of the pillars that we're going to talk about today. Is I understand, like, in the fall when people go back to school, they're going to be the same thing. They're going to be like, it's fall, kids are going back to school. And then Thanksgiving, Christmas is going to come. You're going to be like, it's the holidays. So after the holidays, I'll get restarted back in January. So recognize that if you want to stand out, you got to take advantage of those separation seasons and become that person that separates themselves from the crowd. So I am here. I wanted to remind you guys that I'm here because my life was deeply changed. Because somebody came into my life, a complete stranger, that was not even trying to get me into a business or into health and fitness, but trying to bring me back to church, trying to be a good friend. And he knocked on my door with a plate of brownies, and I let him in because he had the brownies. And he was just a friend to me. He connected with me, asked me questions about my life, and I asked him questions about him, like, how do you look so jacked when I'm so not confident and lazy? Like, how do you look like that? How do you have that confidence? Why are your bicep veins popping out of your t-shirt? Like, tell me how to be like you. And he simply invited me to do something. And it was to come work out with him and the high school kids. He was the high school special teams coach for Idaho Falls High School. And he just invited me, come work out with me. I'll teach you. And I remember asking him nutrition advice, and he gave me some advice, which was stop drinking energy drinks, drink more water. And he just said, push bad foods away from you. And he just slowly started to teach me things. And unfortunately, I couldn't work out with him at the gym. As you guys know, I worked 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I couldn't go to the gym with them in the morning, but he told me to do P90X. He's like, do P90X. I know it gets people results, follow the meal plan. And I did that. And I lost 38 pounds in the first 90 days. My entire life began to shift because somebody that was a random stranger at the time became friends with me, was an example of health, fitness, and mindset, and invited me to start working out. And so, like, I feel this deep passion, or I guess calling, to be that person that he was for me. Every single human I come into contact, to try to make friends with them, find out what they need, what they need in their life to improve their life, and then to offer them a solution. And guys, we have like everything. I feel like we have everything. We have mindset content with Growth Day. We have nutrition plans. We have the cleanest supplements. We have workouts for anybody, no matter if you're 11 and 8, like my kids that work out with me, or you're 80. We have workouts and meal plans for everybody. And then more importantly, we have you, incredible humans that can be their friend and their support on that journey. So don't forget that. That's like our mission is so important. And that's why you're going to see me show up like consistently over time because I feel called this. It's not about can I get to the next rank? Can my income grow the next level? Those are all things that are important in any business, knowing the numbers, knowing the logistics of a business. But I feel called to be here because of that, because of how I got started. I feel like I need to be that person for others. So I just wanted to remind you guys that to think back on your life and realize that you matter and you can help other people. I really think I wasn't going to talk about this, but there's a funeral today for an NPC, a guy that trains all the local NPC competitors that took his life. And his funeral's today, and he was trains people at the Gold's Gym here in Idaho Falls, and that happened over the weekend. And there's a chiropractor that's the partner of the chiropractor that I go to that lost his life as well this weekend. So two people, and they're my age, both of them are my age. And I don't know the story behind that, but there's people out there that are struggling. And I'm not saying go out there and sell them something, go out there and try to recruit them. But what I'm inviting you to do is to go out and be friends to the people around you, to check in on people, to be a friend to people and help them whether they buy from you or not. A great example of that, my friend Nate is going to be joining this team as a partner. Nate he played NFL. He trains high school athletes, and he's left his sales job to create a business training high school kids and helping them connect to D1 colleges. And you might think like that guy's got his stuff all together. Like why would Nate need this business opportunity or these workouts and meal plans? But I've just been friends with Nate over the past year. I talk to him every day at the gym. He was one of my first guests on my podcast, and I was out to help spread the word about his mission. I take my kid to his workouts at the sand dunes where they run drills on the sands. And I invited him to Memorial Day weekend to the cabin, and we were just friends. He brought his kid. We've been friends for over a year, and we spent time together. And I made him a shake, and like we just talked, and I gave him with no idea of saying like I need to recruit Nate to my business. Ideally, yes, I know he would be incredible, right? But I was just a friend to him. And he's been asking me to mentor him in his business, and I've been just doing that for free, giving him advice, teaching him social media tips. And it was Sunday morning at the cabin, and I was like, Nate, get a pen and paper. I was like, what's your morning routine look like? And he didn't really have one. And I gave him a morning routine. And then we took a break. I made him a chocolate shake, put some blueberries in it, scoop of peanut butter, almond milk, ice. I just made a huge blender of it with 3 scoops of Shakeology, gave it to my 2 boys, his 4-year-old, him and me. He drank it and he's like, this is that stuff you do a selfie with in the morning? And I'm like, yep. And I showed him the ingredient list and talked through it with him. And then an hour later, as we're still going through morning routine and some strategy for his business, he's like, is that shake the reason I feel so full? And this guy weighs like 375. He's a former NFL player, a poly guy. And he's like, I need to get on this. And later that night, he texted me when he got home. He's like, dude, my kid's asking me for some chocolate. And I was like, you want some chocolate? He's like, I don't got any chocolate. He's like, I want that shake that we had. And so he's like, I got to be a partner, man. He's like, I got to do what you're doing. And so that's how you recruit people. It's not like some sell strategy and you send the perfect script or run the perfect group or do the perfect phone call. It's reaching out, being a friend, connecting with people, and then offering a solution where you see where you see someone might need a solution. So, okay, now let's get into this topic. I've gone 15 minutes on my randomness. So let's get into the strategy that I want to talk with you guys about today. Raise your hand if you're here and you have goals to do something big with this business, no matter what that goal might be. Okay, and I know that's why you're here on a Friday afternoon. So we're going to go through 4 strategies to help you gain some significant success in your business over the next 10 years. And guys, you heard me say 10 years. I hate when I hear partners say, be here a year from now. Like you have to be here. Like you have to be committed to the long-term game. In order to be successful, you have to be a person that's patient and willing to learn and grow through everything that you need to learn and grow through to become the leader that you need to be. And sometimes it's not going to take a year. Sometimes that might take 2 years. Sometimes that might take 3 years. And we'll talk about some of the things that I want to say about that right now as well. But it's going to take some time. And I'm going to remind you guys, since I started my podcast, I interview high-level business owners and athletes. None of them are high-level business or even saw success in their business or their professional career in 1 year. Not in 6 months, not in 1 year, not in 3 years. Some of them not even in 5 years. It took years of consistent execution towards their goals. And right in front of me is my guitar amp and my 3 guitars that I play on. Just to give you guys an idea, I had a huge dream of being like a professional musician, to create an album. I started playing when I was 15 years old. Do you want to know how old I was when my first album went on iTunes? 35 years old. I played 25 years straight of music. So sometimes things take a little bit of time. If I would have stopped playing when I was 25 and I played for 10 years, would I have ever gotten there? Absolutely not. So things take time. If you see, I want you to think, we're talking about our body business, right? But if you look at someone that is successful in your life or a professional athlete that you might look up to, they've been working at that for years. They've been working on that craft for years, and they become obsessed with it, with a healthy obsession about accomplishing something. So step number 1 that I want to talk about is you need to create a clear vision. And I want you to write these 4 steps down. And then any notes that come to your mind, you need to create a clear vision. This means that you know what you want to do, and then you have to develop the ability to focus on that. So get a clear vision about what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And then you have to develop the ability to focus on that vision daily. You have to be able to remind yourself of that vision every single day. So there's a book that I've listened to over 70 times. I'm actually listening to it again right now, called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And one of the secrets in that book is getting a burning desire for something. And I won't go through all the steps because it's like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. One of the steps is writing out clearly the amount of money that you want to have, and then how you're going to serve the people around you, or what you're going to give in return for that money. And then you have to, every single day, in the morning and in the night, read out your statement about what you're going to accumulate wealth-wise, and how you're going to serve, or what you're going to do or use that money for to serve other people. So that little tip, in a 10-hour and 55-minute YouTube audio, that one little tip is kind of talking about this. You have to develop the ability to focus daily on that vision. So whatever your vision might be, whether it's I want to be a 10-star, or I want to make X amount of dollars so I can stay home with my kids, or so that I don't have to work in the oil fields, or so that I can get a down payment for my house. You get that clear vision about what you want to accomplish, and you have to develop the ability to focus on that daily. Okay, we got that down? That's step number 1. And just a small example of my own life, when one of the huge goals that I set after I was able to retire Gabby and I from our jobs was to pay off my mortgage, right? And do you know what I did every single morning? I would hop in my hot tub first thing in the morning, and I was like some strange, weird kid that sat in my hot tub in the dark, and I looked at the back of it sits in my backyard, and I used to sit back there in the bubbles, and I used to just be like, I can't believe that this house is paid off. This house that made me work 12-hour days for the past 5 years and have my wife at work. This feels incredible that this home is paid off. And guys, guess what? Was my home paid off? No. That was the goal. I wanted to grow my business and continue to grow and expand my business and pay off that house. My goal was not to lead our team to the top 10 that year. We were number 4 in the company. That was one of the goals. But the big, clear vision was to be debt-free, 100% debt-free. And the cool thing that happened is to accumulate that type of money to pay off my house by the date that I set, drove our team to the top 10. So the rank wasn't the main goal. That happened because I had a clear vision of paying off our house. I'm going to talk about another one, and BODi does not guarantee any level of success or income. But the next huge goal that I set, we started doing vacation rentals after that, but that wasn't a huge goal. The next huge goal was I set a goal in my mind. I didn't even tell my parents this until I achieved that goal. But I told I set a clear vision that I wanted to make $1 million in a year between all of the things that I was doing. That was my clear vision. I know that's a huge vision, and some of you guys are just starting your business right now, but my huge vision, and that was with everything that I did, with social media, with vacation rentals, with investments, with my online business. What I was going to give in turn from the Think and Grow Rich Napoleon Hill was I was going to retire my dad from his job. Like I told him, like, when I hit that number, I'm going to tell my dad that he no longer has to work. So you see how there was some sort of, this is what I'm going to give back in return, or how I'm going to serve somebody else by giving back with what I'm going to get. So I set that clear vision of what I wanted to accomplish, and then what I was going to do with that. So I focused every single day, when there was the hard days, when there was the good days, I'm showing up because this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to give back because of that. So guys, number one, create a clear vision, the ability to focus on it daily. So if you need to set up reminders in your phone, read out my vision statement morning and night. I want you to do it at least twice a day. One of the strategies that I have one of my most recent new diamond coaches doing is he wrote out what his ideal day looks like. He makes great 6-figure income, lives a great life, has a great family, but he commutes an hour each way to work and is gone 10 hours during the day. So he's gone 12 hours from his family. He wants to build this business to be more present. So I had him write out a clear vision of what his life is going to look like when he can wake up at his own timing, eat breakfast with his kids. Like, he wrote out in detail a clear vision of what his day will look like with his wife and kids. And I have him read that to himself every single day. And that's that one step, not just create a clear vision, but develop the ability to focus on that vision. Okay. I'm going to give you guys a little secret right now. As you guys know, I'm building the dream house for Gabby and I. It's more my dream house. Gabby's extremely content in the home that we live in. But every day, you might see in my stories, I'm at that home build. I'm not there to see the next 2 water lines going to the bathroom. I'm not there to see the next couple of shingles put on or the next couple of windows. Yes, I get excited about that. You know what I do? I walk over there and I visualize what it's going to be like to wake up in that home and see my grandkids playing in that backyard and playing in the swimming pool and enjoying the lake with the family. And I envision that without any financial stress, that I have it paid off, and that's just our life. That's why I'm there every day. After my workout, I drive over there. I'm getting emotional. See, I have a clear vision and I focus on that every single day. So you have to create a clear vision and the ability to focus on it. I have a hard time sitting right here and visualizing that. So I go visualize that I go in person and experience that. Like today, I sat on the deck. It's just plywood. And I sat in a cross leg, and I put my hands like I was doing the end of my 3-week yoga retreat. And I just sat in the sun and pictured what it would feel like waking up to that sunrise. Okay. Step number 2, create solid strategies. This is so important. And by the way, I got this from some of my personal development. I'm not inventing this system. This is from people who have gone ahead of me that I've implemented in my life. And now I'm teaching you guys. I'm working with my corporate mentor right now, Wendy Watts. And 2 of the biggest things that she taught is holding me accountable into this business is I have to, number 1, talk about the business every single day. And so that I can recruit partners. And number 2, I have to give them clear instructions on what to do with their business. So that's step number 2, create solid strategies. So you have to know where you currently are. You have to know where you want to go and how you're going to get there. You have to get a clear and solid strategy on how you're going to do that. Where are you currently? So take a self-evaluation of where you're at in that goal, where you want to go, and then how you're going to get there. So for example, for me, guys, For me to my goal with the business, where I want to go, what I want to build my business to in order to, so by the way, my goal to pay off this dream home is to pay it off in 7 years from when we close on it. So in order to do that, I know the numbers. I know what I need to pay yearly. I know what the mortgage on a 7-year ARM loan needs to be for that. So I know what my income needs to be. And so my strategy is simple, because I've been in this business 13 years. I know what I need to do business wise. And so it's going to sound so simple. It's going to be, I need to recruit 3 business building partners every single month. I need to get at least 2 of them hitting Emerald in their first month and hitting Success Club monthly, and making that a routine, like a monthly routine that they hit Success Club in their first or second month. And then they make that their monthly goal, their non-negotiable goal for their business. And that's as simple as my strategy is. When I caught myself. When I do that, I know that they're hitting success. They hit Emerald. I get 2 new ones a month hitting Success Club monthly, and I continue to mentor them. They're going to develop into diamonds. They're going to duplicate that inside of their team. It's not super complicated. That's as simple as it is. That's my clear strategy. Every day, talk about the business opportunity so that I recruit partners. Step number 2, make sure that I recruit at least 3 business building partners and hit Success Club 10. I didn't name that, but that's one of them. Hit Success Club 10, at least 3 business building partners, and make sure that I get at least 1 to 2 of them into Emerald in their first month and Success Club as a non-negotiable goal. That's my strategy. Super simple, right? It sounds super simple, but that's what I know will get me to where I need to be over the next 7 years with my business. Okay, next, and by the way, you guys that are here on this call live or watch back, if you need to chat with me and you don't have a direct upline coach that's working with you, tell me your clear vision and your goal. I'll help you develop the strategy, because I've mentored people for 13 years. I can help give you the numbers, like this is what you need to do that. And I can help direct you in that aspect, okay? Next, step number 3, have practical systems. So set up a simple system that you can follow and that other people can emulate and make their own. It kind of goes back on something I said before, where I do this and I help these new partners hit Success Club, hit Emerald, hit Success Clubs consistently, which then they're going to get to Diamond, and then they can move on from there. That's called duplication, right? If I can get them to do that, then I need to make sure that they can duplicate what they're doing. And that's one of the things that my corporate mentor, Wendy Watts, told me as well, is talk about the business every single day, give them a clear strategy, clear action, a clear to-do list of what they need to do, and then make sure that they understand what you're doing so that they can duplicate that with themselves and with their teams. So create a practical system, have simple systems that you can follow and other people can emulate to make their own. Guys, this is going to sound like repetition. I don't do anything magic. I do not do anything magic. So I'm going to show you guys the business activity tracker. I don't do anything magic. I do the business activity tracker. 14 things on there to do. It's a literal checklist. And guys, you want to know how much time? It's the last day of school. I've been running to kids' activities. I got my builder coming to my house in like an hour and 15 minutes to go over some electrical stuff. I got parties to get to. Like, I'm literally doing that business activity tracker outside of this team call in about an hour and 15 minutes. Like, I know how much time I have between what I did this morning with kids and this call, which was about 22 minutes. And then after this call is over, I have at least 45 minutes. And those 45 minutes are going to be just knocking out the things on that to-do list. So make sure that you have a practical system. And guys, we're BODi partners. That practical system is your business activity tracker. I literally do it every single day. And I'll be honest, there's some days I don't want you to have the perfectionist mindset where you're like, I have to have 6 days a week or 5 days a week. And if I don't, I'm a failure. We don't need to get into that mindset. There's days where stuff hits the fan with kids or with life in general, or something happens and you're just emotionally drained or tired, when you can't give 100% every single day, right? Have you guys seen that image where it's like, this is what 100% actually looks like? And it's like Monday, 20%, Wednesday, 80%, Thursday, 100%, Thursday, 50%. It's just like your workouts. You're not 100% every single day with your business. You're not going to be 100% on everything. So give yourself some grace. And step number 4, we'll go over that a little bit more, but it's showing up and doing the most important thing every single day, knowing what that clear strategy is. For you guys, it's the business activity tracker. It's do your workout, follow your meal plan. I'll just drink your shake. I could go through them all on the list, but I'm just going to tell them to you. After you do that, you're going to create content on social media to add value to other people. You're going to put stuff in your stories. And if you want to recruit to the business, talk about the business in your stories. If you only want to recruit to your challenge group, talk about nutrition and workouts. So talk about the things in your life, share what your life is about. Then you're going to start new conversations every single day, 3 to 5 at least. And that's called networking, asking for referrals, meeting people on social media, meeting people in person. Find what works best for you. Then you're going to invite those people to do something. That could be, it could become what there's videos on Vimeo for the partner opportunity. There's videos that explain the challenge packs. There's so many tools that you can share. It could be, you can invite them to a team call. I don't care if they're coaches or not. You can invite them to a summer flash sale. You could invite them just to come to a workout program with you. Say, Lacey, let's say you're going to do 21-day fix in June. You can say, hey, I'm doing this program. I'm going to follow this meal plan. I have a goal to lose 10 pounds. I'm looking for some people to do it with me. So you're inviting people. And it's not always inviting, come do this group with me. Inviting also looks like, hey, Dustin, I know you've been looking for an extra way to make some income. I'm just making this up right now. Like, I don't know if you've ever thought about monetizing your health and fitness journey. If I sent you a video that kind of explained what we do, would you watch it? That's an invite. Or it would be like, hey, I saw that you're working hard on your health and fitness. Have you ever thought about helping other people and getting paid for it? Maybe get your supplements paid for it. Do you want to hop on a call? I can explain how it works or answer any question. That's an invite. So I'm doing that every single day. Start 3 to 5 new conversations and then inviting. Like my friend Nate at the cabin, how did I invite? Inviting is like educating someone on your product. I was like, hey, here's Shakeology. These are the ingredients. This is what some of them do for you. You want to try it? And when he tried it, now he's already sold. He didn't even care about the price. He's like, $4 a shake. That's awesome. What's the discount price on that you get? And I told him, he's like, okay, that's awesome. Let's do it. Right? So that's what it looks like. Meeting people, finding out their needs, inviting them. Okay. The next step, following up with people every single day. This is my follow-up. This is my business activity tracker. Right. And part of the tracker is, and do it in a way that works good for you guys. This right here, like there's a whole follow-up thing right here. There's a whole sheet that goes with it. I don't like it. Like, you don't have to like everything exactly how it goes. This is how I do it. I just write names down. I write where I talk with them, Instagram, text, at the gym, Facebook, what we talked about, like Nate. Kyle, he's building a gym. He coaches athletes. I sent him videos. I did a call with him. And there's a star to follow up with him. Like, I just make my own system. It's just meet new people, have conversations, invite them, follow up. That's literally this whole business. And then once they order, your best way to support them. Okay. And I'm just going to talk about that before I move on to the next step. You don't have to use the BOD Groups app if you don't like it. You don't have to do Facebook groups if you don't like it. You do what works best for you. Like, Lacey, let's say you recruit 3 people to do 21-day fix or whatever program you're going to do. You could just put all 4 of you in a text thread, and every day you just text, hey, my workout's done. Like, you support people in whatever way works best to you. You don't have to be a cookie cutter. This is what the top coach on the National Wake Up Call said exactly how to do it. You need to find your best way to do that. And that's your best way to do everything. Your best way to meet people, your best way to have conversations with them, your best way to invite them, your best way to follow up with them, your best way once they purchase to support them. And if you just master those steps right there outside of your own transformation, that's all I do every single day. That's all that you have to do to hit your monthly goals. Once you get a clear vision about what they are and your strategy about when I'm going to work, what are my hours, following the business activity tracker and that system. Okay. So the last step, this is the most important one. And I'm going to speak some hard truth to it. Consistent execution. Consistent execution. Like, I want you to write that down, circle it, put asterisks next to it, stars on it. I want you to think of someone in your life right now that you deeply admire or that inspires you. It doesn't have to be in body. It could be like your religious leader. It could be your mom. It could be anybody, someone that you admire. And I won't give an example of mine, but I want you to just think about that. And they've been consistent in your life in some way or another, as a friend, as a parent, as a sibling. How would you feel if they just dropped off the planet Earth? Not died, but they dropped off the planet and stopped communicating with you or showing up or being that example of what inspired you. Like, how would you feel? You'd feel kind of defeated or let down, right? So I'll just speak business because this is a business that we're running. I'll just give an example. My neighbor that's building their house across the street from us, she is the wife of one of my old bosses at Idaho Steel Products, and they're brothers that own the business. And that's another part of the story, I guess I could tell. Like, throughout my life, I knew I could always have a job. Like, I worked for him in high school. He was my church leader. He gave me a job in high school when I needed help making money while I was in college. Guess what? He let me work for him a couple hours a day. When I got home from my mission, I needed a job. Who did I work for? Him. Like, he was consistent. He was running a business, and that helped me out. I could count on that. But I was going to give an example of one of the brothers' wives, Heather. So she owns a business called Mahana Fresh. It's a food place that you can eat here in Idaho Falls. Let's say you go to Mahana Fresh, or let's say Heather starts her Mahana Fresh business. First of all, what would she do? If she bought a franchise, got a building, put all the equipment in there, all the tables and chairs, had her grand opening, do you think that she's going to let people know that she has a store that she's opening? Yes. She's not just going to sit in her house and like build that and be like, I hope some people come. I'm not going to talk about it, but I hope people come to my restaurant grand opening. She's going to blast that all over social media. I guarantee every friend that she talks to in person, at church, in person, at her husband's company party, she's going to be like, we opened our store. Like, come over and grab something. That's what we have to do with our business. You have to let people know that you have a business, that you have products, that you have an opportunity. That's step number one, right? But we're going to go to consistent execution. That's the fourth step that we're talking about right now. Now, I want you to imagine you go try out Mahana Fresh and you love it. You know the hours, I don't know their hours, but let's say it's 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. Let's say that's what it is. You could say Subway franchise. You could say your favorite Jamba Juice, whatever it is that's your favorite. I'll use this Mahana Fresh. Let's say I love Mahana Fresh and I have 45-minute break in the middle of my day at work. And I'm like, I didn't meal prep today. I really want some Mahana Fresh. I want some fresh, delicious food made for me. And you have that 45-minute break and you leave your office, drive through the traffic. You got like 15 minutes to drive there, 15 minutes to get your food, and 15 minutes to get back. Like, it's a tight schedule. You get there and the lights are off and the door's locked on a Wednesday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. How would you feel? You would feel let down. You'd be like, what? I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe it's closed. Like, what happened? I felt like that, by the way, at Fiesta Olay. Sometimes they're open, sometimes they're not. I don't know what their deal is, but hopefully they get it figured out. But you feel disappointed. And I don't go stop by to get crispy burritos for the kids anymore, because sometimes I roll up to the drive-through window and no one answers. And then 5 minutes later, I drive around, the windows are closed, right? You lose trust in them. You're like, you don't know if you can count on them or not. So that's what's so important about this business. This is why you cannot start and stop, because you'll lose trust in that. And by the way, if you have started and stopped, this is not a time to feel guilty or be like, I didn't do that. It's just a time to self-evaluate and be like, this is who I'm going to become with my business. When you make that shift, everything's going to start to change for you. When you make that, as Napoleon Hill would say in the Think and Grow Rich, a burning desire to accomplish whatever is that goal is, and then you do these things, get the clear, make the clear vision, develop this, create their solid strategies, have your practical systems in place, and show up with consistent execution, everything will start to shift. It's funny. I see it all the time with people, whether they're on this team or not. They'll be like, when did things change for you? Like, what was the thing that's happened? You'll see it on National Wake Up Calls. Sometimes they're like, I've been a coach for 4 years, and then I went to this event and this is what I shifted, and everything shifts for them. And they just go all in. They're not dipping their toe in and dipping it out, dipping their toe in and dipping it out. And they get that clear decision about this is what I'm going to do. This is who I am. This is who I'm going to become. And everything starts to shift for them. The whole energy starts to shift. And guys, I don't know exactly how God in the universe works, but I feel like I've seen it in my own life. When I feel in my business, when I feel fearful or doubtful, or I'm not true to my goals and vision, where I might be frustrated. Let's say that someone quit. Maybe I put a lot of time into someone for 4 or 5 years and they quit. If I go a couple weeks feeling like, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? And it's all like negative mindset stuff and not clear on my vision, clear on my strategy, clear on my execution, and staying consistent, I can clearly see that God and the universe don't give me great people or give me people to work with until I snap myself out of that. And I feel like that's the way that it works, because I feel this is my personal, that God or the universe isn't going to give someone to you for you to help mentor in their life until you are the person that can guide them there. And you don't have to be at a certain level or a certain weight or a certain business success. You just have to be that person that's committed, someone that's going to be there to guide them through the rest of their journey. Does that make sense? That's just my own personal feeling. But and you can shift that in a moment. You can shift that to be like, I've gotten myself in that place hundreds of times over the past 13 years, but I'm really good at snapping out of it quickly, not dwelling on it within a week, a couple of days, and being like, okay, my belief is off. My vision, I'm not clear on my vision. And what's funny is I always find out that I'm lacking on maybe my personal development, or I stopped journaling, or I stopped praying, or I stopped visualizing, or I stopped doing one of the activities, and then my mindset starts to shift. And then all you have to do to get back into it is be like, okay. And it goes back to the strategies and the clear what you need to execute on. Is like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And just getting re-centered on those things. Okay, so that's what I wanted to chat with you guys. That's all I wanted to talk with you guys about. I was going to try to do 30 minutes, but I get excited on topics that I love. Does anybody have any questions about anything with your business before I let you guys go? And if you don't, you can message me personally as well.
Hey, Scotty.
What's up, Lacey?
Hey. So every time that I end up like stopping doing stuff, it's because I get overwhelmed with the messaging.
Okay.
Do you keep up with that? Like, without spending hours and hours and hours a day to get through your messages? Or do you get through all your messages in a day? Or do you just spend a certain amount of time and then just say, okay, I'm calling it for the day?
Yeah, so I think that's great. I want to talk more about when I was in a position when I worked a full-time job and did this. And even today, part of it, number one, when I first heard messaging, I understood like everything that is involved with body. It could be like my coach is saying this, there's Slay Squad team calls saying this, there's a national wake up call saying this, there's Brendan Bouchard doing this sales training, there's this promo cell coming in here, this program, Body Lava, is launching on this date, Summit is on this date. Like there's all of this info bombarding you. I'll get to your messaging part as well, but that's what I first heard. And I think I feel extreme overwhelm if I try to take all of that in. And if I tried to keep up with everything that came in from all of those things that I named, I wouldn't have time to do my personal development, to focus on my clear vision and what I want to accomplish, to create content for other people, to add value to other people, to make connections, to invite people, to follow up with people, and then to support the people that do purchase from me. I wouldn't have time. And especially when I was working 12 hours a day. So just for you guys right now, you don't have to, like, you need to figure out what works best for you. There's thousands of workouts on BODi, on the BODi platform. There's different meal plans and there's tons of different supplements. Like if you are right now feeling overwhelmed and I don't have that much time and I want to help people and I want to build this business. If you love, I'm just going to throw out Lift 4. If you love Lift 4 and you drink Shakeology, and that's the only thing that you use, you don't use pre-workout, you don't use post-workout, all I would do is all of your time would be your own health and fitness transformation, your personal development, and inviting people to do Lift 4 with you and drink Shakeology, and to become partners if they want a discount or to help other people. And I would ignore everything else. Obviously, your personal development, you're going to get the training, you're going to pick personal development to help you in any training that you need, right? But you need to block out all of the noise, put some blinders on and say, how can Lacey grow in her health, fitness, and mindset and confidence? And how can I help other people do that? And what couple of products am I going to use that I know will help them? Okay, now let's get to your messaging part. So my strategy, I'll tell you exactly what I do, because there's activities on there that are the most important that I don't enjoy doing, but I know they're important. It'd be like, let's say my job was selling RVs or cars. That was my family's career. I couldn't sit at my desk and just study all the RV models from my office and maybe post on Facebook that I sell RVs and expect to sell RVs. When someone drives into that lot, I have to walk out the front door and I have to make friends with them and I have to demonstrate the product, show it to them and offer a sale, right? So you have to get out there and do those. You have to go out and do those things. So one of the, and me naturally, my tendency wouldn't be go out and talk to people. Lacey knows me in real life. Dustin knows me in real life. I'm naturally introverted. That's not my natural tendency. So I have to, in this business, I have to, outside of my comfort zone and outside of my natural thing would be to make new friends, make new contacts, and to invite them, like messaging people, right? But I have a clear vision. I know how this can change people's lives, so I do those things. So that my piece of advice, Lacey, for that would be know what your most important things are. So this is what I do. This is what my schedule, like when I don't give you my whole schedule, but my least favorite things to do are start new conversations. And I don't love checking into challenge groups. I don't need to go to a challenge group or to a text thread to let someone know I do my workout and be held accountable. Like I just do those things. When I did P90X myself, I didn't need that. Jen and I created a community, but I didn't need someone to say like, did you do your workout? Like I just do my workouts. Like I just do my business activity tracker. So with that being said, when my workout right now, I'm shifting away from Dig Deeper, but I'm doing the No Excuses collection. They're like 24 to 25 minutes. So I lift for 20 minutes and then I'm doing 3-week yoga retreat, 30 minutes. But I've created a habit of riding the stationary bike, whether it's the mixed bikes in my house or a stationary bike at the gym. I don't scroll Instagram on that. Like this is exactly what I do. I post my stories. So I just take pictures throughout the morning of my shake. I take a clip of my workout. I have maybe 4 or 5 stories of things that I want to put up. And when I get on that bike, I post those stories to my Instagram stories. The next step, I go to all 3 challenge groups that I'm running, 2 on the BOD Groups app and 1 on Facebook. I post my workout accountability while I'm on the bike. And then I comment on everybody's post in that challenge group. Good job on your workout, Lacey. Awesome work, Alma. Good work, Dustin. Like, I go comment on everybody's stuff, and then I start my 5 new conversations, and then I get off the bike. Let me decline that phone call. So I create some strategies or a system to do the things that's my strategy to make sure that I don't miss that. When we talked about these steps, that's my strategy, is when I do my steady state cardio and get on the bike every day, I do my challenge group, I put up my stories, and I reply, all right, I send out my new conversations. Okay. So we do that. Okay. And then this is what I do for the messaging, Lacey, is if you get to the step of your day where you're like, okay, now it's time to answer messages. First of all, if there's no messages in your inbox or no new messages and no new conversations, you're not doing the most important work, starting new conversations and making new invites. Okay. So that's a reminder for those of you that don't have message in your inbox. One other thing that I see that stresses people out or they feel burnt out with this business is, let's say you have an hour to work your business. You're like, okay, I got an hour to work. You open up your Facebook Messenger and you just start answering messages. And they respond, maybe they don't. And then you respond back to them. And then they respond. And then they respond back. And then you maybe do that with 5 or 6 or 10 people. You could spend an hour messaging back and forth with 5 or 6 people. And then you're done. You're out of time. You have no more time to work, right? And then messages keep coming in possibly. Like, it will be never ending. So you have to set boundaries for yourself, just like a business. So the way that I do that, I know I'm going to repeat this real quick. I do the business activity tracker every day. I told you when I start my new conversations, I do it on the bike every single day. I start those conversations. That's going to give me new things in my inbox, new messages in my inbox. Before I even start, if they respond, before I do it, I have a follow-up list. Like, here's my prospect list for today. I'll make sure to, even if they didn't write me, like, I'll go into my Instagram. It's Tracy. I'll go to Tracy on Instagram. Maybe she responded yesterday. Maybe she didn't. I'll do a follow-up, or I'll answer whatever question or continue that conversation. And then I'll go to the next one. Kyle. I'll go to Kyle. Hey, what's up, Kyle? His is on text. I'll go leave him a voice text. I'm like, hey, what's up, Kyle? I wanted to see if you watched that video I sent. That's it. I go to the next one. Tyler. Hey, what's up, Tyler? How's your wife's pregnancy going? Like, how are your summer sales? Like, I'll just touch base, follow up. Next one, Nate. I go to Nate. Nate's the guy I'm talking about from the cabin. I'll be, hey, what's up, Nate? Were you able to purchase? Because I sent him a share card. Were you able to make your purchase yet? I'll do a follow-up, right? Next one, Dusty. I'll go to Dusty. Maybe Tracy answers while I'm writing Dusty, right? I don't answer Tracy's message. I'll do Dusty's. Okay, now I get to Stacy, then Jaron, then John. Maybe Kyle and Tyler responded. I don't answer them. I go through that follow-up list. I go through every person on my follow-up list for that day. It could be, I have 10 plus here. It could be your 3 follow-ups a day, right? 3 new conversations, at least 3 invites, at least 3 follow-ups. Do all of those before you get to any messages. Lacey, I know this is going a long explanation, but I want you to really know what I do on that. Whether it's 3 or 5, start 3 new conversations, do 3 invites, do 3 follow-ups, or 5, 5, and 5, whatever your number is. Once those are done, this is what I do. I answer messages is my last thing on my to-do list. And what I'll do is I'll go to my, it's exactly like this. I'll go to Instagram, because I haven't completed this yet today. This is the only thing I have left. I did all my Facebook. My last thing is my Instagram after this call. I'll go to, you can see some messages in here. I'll go to filter. I'll go to unread, and I'll scroll down to the bottom. I know you can't really see it. These are all unread messages on Instagram. 1 day ago. So 23 hours ago. They've all, like, I could have felt like I needed to answer them last night, but I just go through and I'll answer as many of these as I can. And then let's say my builder's coming and I only get 10 of these 25 messages answered. That's it. I shut it down. I'm done working. Does that make sense? And then tomorrow, when I get back when I get back to my work, I'm going to do everything we've talked about in the business activity tracker. My own workout, put my own content up, start new conversations, invite, follow up, check into my challenge group, and then I'll answer messages starting with the last one that I ever listened to or that I didn't respond to. I'll go to unread, or on Facebook, I can't do that. So I'll just scroll down to the one that's been in my inbox the longest, and I'll start answering those messages. And they may converse back and forth with me, but I've trained my people, my prospects, that I only answer them once a day. Like, I'm not back and forth with them. Like, I'll answer and they may respond while I'm answering, because there's 25 messages in here. I'm pretty quick, so I'll probably answer those all within 30 minutes. I'll walk in my backyard, I'll answer all 25 of those. 10 of them may respond while I'm answering. They're just going to stay unread until tomorrow, and then I'll just follow up the next day. So I think it helps also letting people know that you're busy.
Do
Like,
you follow up the next day after you send a message, or do you give it a couple of days?
so the only people that go up on my follow-up list are people that, because I start conversations with everybody, the only people I follow up with are someone that becomes a lead to do a workout with us after an invite, or a lead to be a prospect. If they show no interest, or the conversation isn't going towards any ability that they want help from me, they never go on the follow-up list at all. So I'm not going to be messaging them back and forth. If they write me a message of something else, I'll answer it back. But if they're not asking them for help, or I've said like, hey, I can't believe I never told you about this, but I'm running a fitness and nutrition group for 30 days starting on June 10th. Would you be interested in doing a challenge with us? If they say no, or they don't answer, they're not on my list at all. They never go on the list. But if they do say yes, that's when I write them on my follow-up list, and that will be one of my follow-ups that I'll make sure to connect with. And Lacey, my follow-ups are only once a week, until they get to the point when they say, yes, I want in. If they say, yes, I want in, I'll follow up with them every other day until they make their purchase. Does that make sense? Kind of makes sense, but that's my strategy. And I just keep track of it with pen and paper. If somebody stops responding, maybe I send a share cart and they stop responding, they come off my list. But I just basically tell them, I'd be like, hey, Lacey, I know you were thinking about doing this group with us. I haven't heard back. I reached out a couple of times. I haven't heard back. That's totally okay. Something may be going on in your life, and that's totally okay. In the future, I just tell them I run groups consistently throughout the year. If things change and you want to hop in a future group, just know I'm a message away. They're off my list. I just literally just look at, I'll show you how often it happens. I don't know if you can see it. It's like every other one has a cross through them. So they come off the list. And then the names of people that are still responding, still interested, I transfer them over the next week to a new page. And then my new page, maybe that list is full. Like you can see right here, this whole page is full. And then that was last week. This is this week. So my goal is to keep this page full of, in the BODi training, it's called a 10 in play. I want to keep like 20 to 30 in play. But this is basically my 10 in play. These are people who are interested in purchasing a product or becoming a partner. So I just track it like that. So does that answer your question? But one other strategy I do with that is, Lacey, let's say someone's like, so right now I'm really working on closing out in the month, May 31st. Like I've hit Success Club. I'm like Success Club 18. Gabby's at Success Club 10. So I'm not like trying to push people to get the feel good summer sale so I can hit Success Club. I try to do that by the 10th of the month. But I do know I have client prospects on this list that want to take advantage of that special. So in that case, like I follow up daily on someone like that's working towards a deadline of joining, because we're running a group, for example, June 10th. When I get to that point, then I just make it a daily follow-up. Does that make sense? Or until they make their purchase, and then go on from there. Thanks, Aaron. Okay, so we're at the hour. I do need to hop off because I have the rest of my follow-ups and messages to answer. And I know I would rather, as much as I love chatting with you guys and giving advice, I would rather you guys hang up the phone and go start 5 new conversations, make 5 invites, and move forward from there. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys later.